Welcome to the Creative Curriculum for Preschool. Hi, I'm Brian Mack, Senior Vice President of Education and Teaching Strategies. I am so excited to walk you through an unboxing of the materials included in the Creative Curriculum for Preschool. Your materials will arrive in 4 shipping boxes, which include large labels identifying them as box 1, 2, 3, 4. The first thing I hope you'll see when you open each of them is that the curriculum materials are beautifully packaged and well organized. We've included thoughtful details like pull handles that will help you remove the materials from the shipping box, and the little finger holes that you can use to remove the small slant boxes from their larger organizer boxes. In this video, I'm going to introduce you to each of the print materials and tell you where in the 4 shipping boxes you'll find them. We're going to divide the video into chapters related to each type of resource, so that if you ever want to return to it and watch only the part about a single specific resource, it'll be easy to find in the video. We do recommend that you watch the whole thing in its entirety the first time, though, because knowing a bit about each part of the curriculum will help you better understand how all of the parts fit together to create a comprehensive program designed to give you everything you need to best support the preschool children in your care. There's a lot to cover, so let's get started with Chapter 1. I strongly recommend starting here, where it says Start Here. This isn't actually the curriculum material exactly, but it does introduce you to them. You'll find this flyer in Box 1. If you don't see it when you first open Box 1, keep looking. It may get tucked down between the shipping box and the organizer box. This is the flyer with information about the components of the curriculum, the materials you're going to be unboxing and using. I suggest paying special attention to a QR code that will take you directly to the login screen for the SmartTeach digital platform. If you're already using an earlier edition of the Creative Curriculum or any other digital solutions from teaching strategies such as Gold Assessment or Ready Rosie, you'll use your same login credentials for this account. But if you're new to teaching strategies, welcome. You'll want to look for an email from us with your initial login credentials. If you haven't already seen this welcome email show up in your inbox, check your promotions email folder and junk mail folder. If you still don't see it, contact your administrator to make sure they've sent us your name and correct current work-related email address, which is how we know who needs to receive the information. I want to make sure you can get into SmartTeach right away because I think you're going to love the ways that we've simplified your planning. And if you have a subscription to the Creative Curriculum Cloud, you'll quickly discover that we've made sure you have access to all the digital versions of the print resources that we're going to see today, as well as a few brand new items, some of which are available only as digital resources. I'll be talking about each of those later on in this unboxing presentation as I get to the print resources that most closely correspond to those that are digital only. This is your curriculum guide. You'll find this in Box 1 in the slant box that also includes material for the first 6 weeks. The information we've included in the curriculum guide will help you take full advantage of all the curriculum has to offer. We suggest that you take the time now to locate and read through the parts you most want to learn about first, and that you keep the guide handy to return to whenever you want to learn more. One thing I'll point out specifically is this handy, super practical, laminated Getting Started checklist, which you'll find in the front pocket of the curriculum guide. This is a bare-bones, pared-down to-do list of specific actions you can take to get ready for the beginning of school. Once you feel comfortable that you've completed those items, you may want to take a look at the expanded Getting Started checklist, which you'll find in the back of the curriculum guide. We've called it expanded because it goes far deeper in some ideas that you may want to think about and get set up before the start of a new school year. Which brings us to some of those digital-only resources I mentioned earlier. One of those resources is something we're calling the Preschool Foundation Checklist. This is a much longer, more detailed checklist of items that you can refer to throughout the year as you work to offer high-quality learning experiences within a high-quality environment. To find it, simply look in the SmartTeach library in the downloadable teaching resources. You can certainly find it in the All section, but pro tip, select the Getting Started section there to locate the Foundation checklist most easily. And speaking of foundation, here's another really important digital-only resource, the Curriculum 7 Foundation volumes, which you can find near the top of the digital library in SmartTeach. These provide literally hundreds of pages of research-based insight and guidance for setting up and maintaining your preschool program. From room arrangement to interactive literacy experiences to family engagement, we've got all kinds of information for you to dig into when you're ready. We've taken some of the most valuable information from those volumes and compiled it into this, your curriculum guide. Another critically important, marvelously, delightfully, critically important resource is your set of 9 teaching guides, which you're seeing here in print, but are also available digitally in full in SmartTeach. You can view them in the digital library, and you can easily add them to your daily plans in the Teach area of SmartTeach. You'll find the teaching guide stored in labeled slant boxes split among shipping boxes 1, 2, and 3. These 9 guides bring together all the other daily resources, describing which resource to use when across 180 days of detailed daily plans. You'll notice that they're each packaged along with the children's books and the relevant book discussion cards that are featured in the guide. We recommend that when you're not using a particular teaching guide, that you continue to store those materials together in their labeled slant boxes. The teaching guides have been created around topics that are interesting to and important to children's everyday lives, starting with this one, The First 6 Weeks, Building Your Classroom Community, and ending with this one, titled The End of the Year. In between the beginning and the end of the year, you'll use the other teaching guides that feature 7 all-new studies. Studies are long-term, project-based investigations of topics related to science and social studies concepts, which offer opportunities for multidisciplinary learning through engaging with the topic and related resources in multiple ways. You can implement these 7 teaching guides in any order that makes sense for you and the children in your class. But we do offer a suggested implementation sequence, and we strongly recommend that you start with this one. Blocks is the first study of the year, right after you complete first 6 weeks. And that's because in this one, we've embedded a lot of additional support about how studies work and how teaching guides are put together. Plus, it's blocks. Blocks are popular, longtime favorite resources in the preschool classrooms all around the world. And the materials you'll need to implement the block study, you probably already have readily available in your classroom. So first 6 weeks, then blocks. Here's another pro tip for you. When you search for the new teaching guides in SmartTeach, either the digital library or in the Teach area, you're going to see a lot more than just this 9. In fact, you're going to have access to more than 40 of them, which include those from earlier editions of the Creative Curriculum for Preschool. All of these new ones for this edition of the curriculum will display a blue triangle in the upper right corner of the thumbnail images of their covers. I want to take a couple of minutes to introduce you to some resources designed not just to help build children's early literacy skills, but also help them fall in love with books and stories and discover just how emotionally connected they can become to a book and its characters. First, there's a collection of 44 children's books, which you'll see referenced in the daily plans. As I mentioned in the teaching guides chapter of this video, we've packaged both the children's books and the book discussion cards with the teaching guide where they're used. For the first time ever, we've included book discussion cards for several different types of repeated read-aloud experiences. First, we've divided them into large group read-alouds and small group read-alouds. You'll see a blue dot in the corner on the front of each of these cards that tells you whether it's intended for small group or large group read-aloud. Also, you'll see that some of these are described on our traditional trifold card that will guide you in leading a series of 3 read-alouds for a particular book, like this one here for The Right Place. The other is a bifold card describing 2 read-alouds. Here's another tip. I encourage you to read through the 3 information cards on the top of your set of book discussion cards for the first 6 weeks. They'll offer a lot more information about how to make the most of read aloud time with the Teaching Strategies Children's Book Collection. Another all-new literacy resource is this set of 12 read-aloud strategy cards. These are not packaged with teaching guides because you're going to be referencing all of them throughout the year. You'll find these in Shipping Box 3 and an organizer box with your new letter cards and numeral cards. There'll be times in the daily plans that the recommended read aloud identifies only the type of book that we're suggesting you read that day, such as a fiction book or an alphabet or a rhyming book. These will be books that you get to choose from your classroom library. The Read Aloud strategy cards provide general guidance that can help you lead an interactive read aloud, regardless of the book you choose. We've punched holes in these cards and packaged them with a storage ring so you can keep them handy and just flip to the one you need. Lastly, I want to mention an all new set of digital only book discussion cards. These offer read aloud guidance for specific books that are not included in the children's book collection that comes with your curriculum materials, but that are so popular and so well loved that you probably already include some of them in your classroom library and in read alouds. These are not addressed in any of the daily plans specifically. Using any of these digital book discussion cards is totally optional, although we certainly recommend that you include multiple read alouds in your time with children each day. So we've created this guidance to help you make the most of those extra daily read alouds. In Shipping Box 4, you're going to find some very important daily resources. One is your set of intentional teaching experiences. If you've used either the Creative Curriculum or Gold in the past, then you know how important and useful these are. Many of them describe focused activities that are perfect for play-based small group instruction. Each day's plan suggests specific intentional teaching experiences that, over time, help children build a broad range of skills. In the Teach area of SmartTeach, which is where you'll create your digital plans, you can easily search for other intentional teaching experiences and add them to your plan. You can search for them by activity name or identifier number, keyword, or objective, and add them to your plan with just a few clicks. Now, while I know many of us educators really love our print resources, myself included, this resource is one that I'm really going to encourage you to explore accessing through SmartTeach. This teaching sequence here that recommends individualizations to meet the developmental needs of each child, when accessed digitally, is automatically populated with children's names based on your most recent documentation for that child's skills. Think of all the impact that will offer to your instruction and how much time it will save you. These are separated in their organizer box by instructional category, starting with the cards for language and literacy. On top of this first set, you'll see information about intentional teaching experiences and a QR code that you can scan to learn even more. Next, you'll see a card that lists all the intentional teaching experiences included in that set, as well as information from the Teaching Strategies 38 Objectives for Development and Learning. And lastly, a helpful card with helpful how-to tips. I also want to mention that all the intentional teaching experiences are bilingual. They're described in English on one side and then Spanish on the other. Mighty Minutes are another tried and true resource in the creative curriculum. These are short songs, chants, rhymes, and games that help you reinforce specific skills and are perfect for helping transitions go smoothly. You'll find these in Shipping Box 4 and a handy flip-top storage box. They come with pre-drilled holes and a clip-on organizer ring, which many teachers find is a convenient way to carry around the ones they want to use each day. There's at least one Mighty Minutes activity suggested in each day's plans, and using the suggested one each day ensures that over time, you'll be addressing a broad range of skills. But you can easily add as many others to your daily plans that you'd like, either digitally in SmartTeach or by pulling out ones you want to use and keeping them on this handy ring. Or you can tuck them into the front pocket of your teaching guide. The 100 Mighty Minutes included in your materials are all brand new. They're numbered from 301 to 400. You also have access to the first 300 Mighty Minutes in SmartTeach. They're all right there in both the library and the Teach area, where you can easily add them to your plans. And if you also use Gold, you can assess children's skills directly from a Mighty Minutes activity in SmartTeach, just like you can with intentional teaching experiences, meaning you can quickly assess children's skills as they demonstrate them. You can also easily share an activity with children's families, so they have quick and easy resources to support learning at home. Here, you're seeing 3 types of cards that will help you implement the curriculum: photo cards, letter cards, and numeral cards. Since these are intended to be handled by children in addition to adults, all of them are fully encapsulated in heavy-duty lamination, meaning they're extra sturdy and easy to wipe clean. If you know, you know. Let's start with the photo cards, which you'll find in shipping box 4. The photo cards are numbered from 176 to 270 and will be used with the teaching guides you've seen here in this unboxing video. The daily plans clearly identify when you should reference one or more specific photo cards. For example, this photo of an X-ray is referenced in the human body study. You can see that one side of the card is all photo, while the other side identifies what's being pictured and includes a number for easy reference. In fact, the number is how they're each identified in daily plans. We've included in this set also dividers that you can use to separate the photo cards by teaching guides, making them easier to find when you need them. We recommend storing the photo cards in the sturdy flip-top box with the identification information rather than the picture facing front, which will make it easy to find specific photo cards. Also, in these print materials, you'll see a set of 33 supplemental photo cards that aren't related to any of the studies, but instead help you implement certain intentional teaching experiences. For example, when you implement intentional teaching experience LL14, Did You Ever See?, you can use photo cards 1 through 5, which show some familiar animals like a cat, a dog, and a mouse. Your daily plans include QR codes that lead directly to digital versions of the photo cards when and where you need them. And you can, of course, also find the full set in the downloadable resource section of the digital library in SmartTeach. In the front of your box of photo cards, you'll see an introduction to photo cards and a handy numbered inventory that can help you locate a specific card. You'll also find the inventory in the downloadable teaching resources in SmartTeach. Here's another pro tip. In the SmartTeach library, you'll also see digital versions of photo cards that aren't included in the numbered list, but relate to some of our other preschool teaching guides, such as boxes, buildings, and clothes. The numeral cards, which you'll find in shipping box 3, cover numerals from 1 to 20. On one side, you'll see only the numeral, and on the other side, the numeral with 2 10 frames and dots to indicate the quantity that numeral represents. The letter cards include uppercase and lowercase versions of the 26 letters of the alphabet, with consonants in black and vowels in red. If you're using the bilingual or Spanish version of the curriculum, you'll see a 27th letter card, since there's also one for the Spanish language letter ñ. I wanted to quickly mention some of the other downloadable printable resources that we've created to help you implement the creative curriculum for preschool. Several of the studies, including weather, the human body, plants, and restaurants, offer downloadable resources such as this set of plant life cycle cards. You can access them from QR codes embedded in the teaching guides and in the library area of SmartTeach, where you'll find options in both color and black and white. There, in the library, you can also find downloadable versions of the questions of the day and study-related vocabulary, as well as copies of the letters to families from each teaching guide and for each of your classroom interest areas, along with some child-friendly recipes and child-facing illustrated versions of 20 Mighty Minutes activities. You'll also find other really helpful resources like interest area signs in both color and black and white, as well as some extended learning prompts you can post in your interest areas to help adults visiting your classroom know how to help children think more deeply about their work. If you subscribe to the Creative Curriculum Cloud, I encourage you to take some time to fully investigate the wide variety of resources that are available to you in the digital library of SmartTeach. If you haven't already done so, I invite you to check out the Hub, which is our online learning community, which you can access right from SmartTeach. There, you can connect with other educators through dedicated question and answer forums and discover a wide variety of both live and asynchronous options to support your professional learning. I want to call particular attention to TAP, which is our very popular Teacher Acceleration Program. It's a 6-week program of rapid onboarding designed to help you feel confident and prepared to get off to a great start with the creative curriculum for preschool. We also offer a version of this for administrators called Leadership Launchpad. On behalf of everyone here at Teaching Strategies, I want to thank you for choosing the creative curriculum for preschool. We feel honored to be part of the life and work of your classroom.